Hey everyone, imagine living your whole life in darkness, never seeing a sunrise or a loved one's face. Then, someone changes everything with a single touch. That's what happened when Jesus healed a man born blind, a miracle that shook everyone around him. This isn't just a story from 2,000 years ago. It's a powerful message of hope and transformation that speaks to us today. Join me as we dive into this incredible moment, uncover its deeper meaning, and see how it can light up our lives. Let's get started. Picture this. Jesus and his disciples are walking through Jerusalem. They pass by a man who's been blind since birth, sitting by the roadside, probably begging to survive. In those days, being blind wasn't just a physical challenge. It often meant being an outcast, ignored by society. The disciples see him and ask Jesus, "Teacher, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" They thought blindness was a punishment, a common belief back then. But Jesus stops them in their tracks. He says, "Neither this man nor his parents sinned. This happened so that God's works might be revealed in him." Can you imagine the silence? Jesus is about to do something extraordinary. He kneels down, spits on the ground, and makes mud with his saliva. Then he gently spreads the mud on the man's eyes. "Go," Jesus says, "wash in the pool of Siloam." The man doesn't question it. He stumbles to the pool, washes the mud off, and then he can see. For the first time in his life, he sees light, colors, faces. He's overjoyed. But the people around him are confused. "Isn't this the beggar who was blind?" they whisper. Some don't believe it. Others are amazed. The man keeps saying, "I'm the one. I was blind and now I see." This miracle found in John 9, 1-12 causes a stir. The Pharisees, the religious leaders, question the man, trying to find fault. They even ask his parents, "Is this really your son?" But the man stands firm. "All I know is I was blind and now I see." This wasn't just about physical sight. It was about Jesus bringing light to someone's life, challenging everyone's ideas about who deserves God's love. Can you imagine being that man, seeing the world for the first time? What would you say to Jesus? Let's go back to first century Judea to understand why this miracle was so powerful. In Jesus' time, blindness was more than a disability. It was a social and spiritual burden. Many believed physical ailments, like blindness, were a punishment for sin, either the person's or their parents'. This man, blind from birth, would have been an outcast, forced to beg, excluded from religious life. People might have walked by him every day, judging him, without knowing his story. The pool of Siloam, where Jesus sent him to wash, wasn't just any pool. It was a sacred place, used for ritual purification during festivals, like the Feast of Tabernacles. By sending the man there, Jesus tied this miracle to spiritual cleansing, showing that his healing went beyond the physical. The mud he made with his saliva, that was unusual, even shocking. In Jewish tradition, spit was sometimes seen as unclean, but Jesus used it to show that God's power could work through the ordinary, even the unexpected. This story, found only in the Gospel of John, also sparked controversy. The Pharisees were upset because Jesus healed on the Sabbath, a day when work was forbidden. They questioned the man repeatedly, trying to discredit Jesus. But the man's simple testimony, "I was blind, and now I see," was undeniable. Scholars say this miracle wasn't just about healing, it was about challenging society's judgments and showing that God's love reaches everyone, even the outcast. It also pointed to Jesus as the light of the world, a theme John emphasizes. What do you think it meant to that crowd to see an outcast transform? So what does this miracle mean for us today? We might not be physically blind, but we all have moments when we feel stuck in darkness. Maybe it's doubt, fear, or feeling unseen. Jesus' healing of the blind man shows us that hope can break through no matter how hopeless things seem. It's a reminder that God sees us, even when the world overlooks us. Think about your own life. What's your blindness? Maybe it's a struggle with self-worth, a tough situation, or feeling like an outsider. Jesus didn't just heal the man, he gave him a new life, a new identity. Today, we can be that light for others. I heard about a community group in New York that helps homeless people find jobs. One small act, offering a resume workshop, changed lives, giving people hope and purpose. That's like Jesus's mud, a simple act with transformative power. This miracle also challenges us to see people differently. The disciples judged the blind man, but Jesus saw his potential. In our world, it's easy to overlook those who seem less than, the homeless, the struggling, the ignored. What if we stopped to help, like Jesus did? Maybe it's volunteering at a shelter, listening to a friend, or supporting a mental health charity. These small acts can bring light to someone's darkness. And here's another thought. The blind man trusted Jesus, even when the instructions seem strange. In our lives, trusting God's plan, even when it doesn't make sense, can lead to breakthroughs. So, what's one way you can bring hope to someone today? Maybe it's a kind word, a helping hand, or a prayer. Let's be the light in someone's darkness. What's one small act you could do to make a difference? That's the story of Jesus healing a blind man. A miracle that brought light to a life in darkness and still inspires us today. It's a reminder that God sees us even when the world doesn't, and we can bring hope to others. So here's my question for you. What's one small act you can do to light up someone's life? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If this story moved you, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell for more miracles that speak to us today. Next week, we'll explore how Jesus calmed a storm and what it means for our lives. Thanks for watching, and let's keep sharing stories that inspire. See you next time.